Right guys, so I've been tagged by Shock16 to do a Pass Along the Gems video. So this is a tag series that gives you a chance to just share games that you think people might otherwise have passed over, stuff that might otherwise have been ignored. So a really great idea for a series. I always like to see recommendations like this, so hopefully this series will run and run. So I've got 4 games here across different systems, so hopefully there's something here for everybody. So the first gem that I'd like to pass along is Beetle Adventure Racing on the N64. So this is a pre-Burnout game with lots of kind of Burnout elements to it. It came 2 years before that series, but it's got, if you like that series, it's certainly something to check out if you've got an N64. It's got the crazy crash dynamics, over-the-top physics with the huge jumps. Obviously it's got the 4-player split-screen action, multiplayer action on there that N64 was famous for, and got the Nitro Boost feature as well, similar to Burnout. All those things make it really fun and really over the top and really cool game to play, and that's coming from someone who's not a huge racing fan per se. But what makes it really individual is the fact that the levels have lots of different routes. So there's lots of shortcuts, lots of different ways to get through the levels, and that just gives it a replayability and certainly an unpredictable kind of nature to it as well. So there's lots of things to actually discover in the levels, so that fact makes this game something a little bit different. So lots of replay value, like I said, and highly recommend Beetle Adventure Racing on the N64. So the next gem that I'd like to pass along is Wardner on the Genesis. So this is an old school side-scrolling platformer, and it's really challenging. It's got that kind of precision jumping that a lot of us retro gamers find so compelling. So it's quite challenging and really cute little platformer, and slight RPG elements that at the end of each level you go to a shop where you can buy upgrades, power-ups to make getting through the levels easier, and to make it a little bit easier to fight the bosses that are at the end of each level. So really fun game. If you can get hold of this, highly recommend Wardner on the Genesis. Right, the next gem that I'd like to pass along is Super Magnetic Neo on the Dreamcast. So this is a really fun platformer again. It's a 3D platformer in the vein of kind of Crash Bandicoot, in that you're moving forward through a linear level, but you have various obstacles that you need to traverse, and the way that you do that is by the use of positive and negative magnetic charge. So that gives it a little bit of an individual feature, and it certainly makes the game, gives it its own flavour that's you know, it's quite unique. So that's really fun. Slight puzzle element almost to getting through the levels. Quite a chilled out pace, quite a relaxed, chilled out pace. But yeah, it's really fun game. I certainly recommend Super Magnetic Neo on the Dreamcast. Yeah, cool game. And the last gem that I'd like to pass along is on the PS2 and Xbox, and it is Destroy All Humans. So guys, this game is genuinely funny, and how often can you really say that about a video game? Yeah, obviously it's got that 50s monster movie kind of styling to it, and that gives it a really cool feel all the way through, just the style of the game. And playing as the aliens is pretty cool as well, so when you're out to destroy the humans, that narrative flip is quite interesting. So yeah, really fun game. Lots of variety in this game. That's the main reason I can recommend Destroy All Humans. Lots of variety to the gameplay. Get to play with lots of really cool power-ups, and lots of different ways of fighting the evil humans or whatever, you know. You also get to fly around in the alien spaceships, and those levels are completely different again to the levels where you're walking around. So Destroy All Humans on the PS2 and Xbox. So that's my gems that I'd like to pass along to you, and look in the low bar for my taggee, and hopefully this series can run and run, so we can all recommend to each other some games that might otherwise have been ignored. So that's it guys, see you in the next video, bye bye.